안녕하세요. Hello guys. Let's try another error correction. Luckily, I got a writing sample from my students and she allowed me to use her writing sample to make this tutorial. Thank you, my students. Thank you. 감사합니다. Okay, then I'm gonna show you her writing sample and what you should do. You have to pause the video and try to find as many errors as possible and then try to correct as many errors as you can. And after that, I will provide my error corrections. Then now stop the video. I mean, pause the video. While you are doing that, I'm gonna listen to 이명웅주 London Boys. London Boy. Okay, did you finish? Okay, then let's start. By the way, I have to remind you that I am not the writer. That's why I cannot say I can understand the writer's intention by 100%. However, I will provide my corrections based on my understanding. Also, I want to remind you that there are many different ways to correct the errors, but anyhow, I will do my best. Then let's start. I split this writing into three parts and let's go to the first part. The 제목. I'm gonna use doodling, annotation mark. Okay, 제목. Title of the writing is 제목. 나의 여행 이야기. My travel story is my story about my travel experience. 저하고 가족을 3년 전 일본에 갔습니다. I can see that she wanted to say I and my family went to Japan 3 years ago. So there are many different ways to correct the errors, but the first one is my family and me and my family, I and my family. So 저하고 가족은 3년 전, 3년 전 okay, but as for my, as for me and my family, 3년 전, okay. However, 3년 전에 add the topic mark is much better. 일본에 갔습니다. So I and my family went to Japan 3 years ago. 자, 우리는 일본에 일주일 동안. 자, this one is that she's talking about her experience that occurred 3 years ago. So this is past, right? Past. So 우리는 일본에 일주일 동안 있었습니다. Past tense form. We were in Japan during 1 week. 도쿄이고 교토에서 구경을 해요. 자, let's see. 도쿄. It seems that she wanted to say I went sightseeing in or I went sightseeing in Tokyo and Kyoto. That's why she used 에서. Okay. Then, okay. I went sightseeing in Tokyo and Kyoto. So 도쿄 and 교토. So 도쿄하고 교토에서 구경을 자, past tense had and you have to maintain the same speech style during your throughout your writing. And then if you remember, she used mostly 씁니다 in former 씁니다 former speech style. So 했습니다. 도쿄하고 교토에서 구경을 했습니다. I went sightseeing. I had a lot of sightseeing in 도쿄 in 교토. 우리는 도쿄에서 갔습니다. 도쿄에서 갔습니다. We went to Tokyo. So we went to Tokyo. To Tokyo. So 도쿄에 갔습니다. 12화에 인상적이지만 자, 인상적이다. Something is impressive. So something is the subject for to be impressive. So 이 or가 subject marker you should add. 무엇이? So it's better to remember 무엇이가 인상적이다. So remember this way. Not only 인상적이다, impressive is 인상적이다, is impressive. 뭐뭐가 무엇이 인상적이다. 그래서 시부야가 인상적이지만, 자, again, she is talking about the impression that she had 3 years ago. So it should be past tense. 시비화가 인상적이었지만, 시비화 was very impressive, but 사람이 많이 있었습니다. 자, this is a way, two ways. This part has 2 ways to correct. 어떻게? 사람이 많이 있었습니다. First one is 사람이 많이 있었습니다. Second one is 많은 많은 사람이 있었습니다. But anyhow, based on the length of the sentence, and then I sense that she wanted to say there were uh, uh, people were many in the location. So many, so 많이 있었습니다. I will go with this one. 많은 사람이 있었습니다. It's okay, but 사람이 많이 있었습니다 sounds better. 자, this was the first part. Then I will move on to the next page, next part. 오케이, 안 가네? 이거 안 가네? 오케이, 이거 꼭 가는구나. 오케이, 다시, 다시. 오케이. 자, part 2, again, 두들링 하겠습니다. 두들링. 자, 그리고 어시장에 가고 장어덮밥을 먹었습니다. 이 부분, this part is the part that students always make an error in. But for example, let's say, what did you do yesterday? Then if you say, 청소를 했고 친구를 만났어요. If you are listing, I cleaned, 뭐, 공부를 했고 친구를 만났어요. I studied and I met my friends. When you are listing what you did in the past, then 공부를 했고, and then 뭐 친구를 만났어요. 그런데 if you want to say after studying, I met my friend. That means 공부를 하고 나서 친구를 만났어요. However, 하고 나서 we use a shortened form, right? 그래서 어떻게? 공부를 하고 친구를 만났어요. So there are 3 ways가 있어요. there are 3 ways when you are describing the actions that you did. Simply you list. However, when you are listing the actions you did, however, you are indicating the sequence in the uh, uh, temporal order. 그런데 어시장 fish market 하고 장어덮밥을 먹었습니다. In this case, based on this one, I will say 어시장에 갔고 장어덮밥을 먹었습니다. 어시장에 가고 it sounds like this one. However, do you remember there is another structure, also as a structure that you are linking two actions that are tightly related to each other. For example, why the students went to the 어시장? Because of 장어덮밥, to eat 장어덮밥. So if the students did not go to 어시장, the students could not eat 장어덮밥. So going to 어시장 and eating 장어덮밥 are closely related. In this case, we use this structure. So 어시장에 가서 장어덮밥을 먹었습니다. So my recommendation is 어시장을 만약에 if the students didn't plan from the beginning to eat 장어덮밥 before the students went to 어시장, then 어시장에 갔고 장어덮밥을 먹었습니다. However, whether the students planned it or not, anyhow, it's just related to if you cannot eat 덮밥 when you didn't go to 어시장. In this case, 어시장에 가서 장어덮밥을 먹었습니다. But I prefer to use this one. 도쿄에서 아주 예뻤지만 교토에서 아주 아름다웠습니다. I understood why students write this one, but anyhow, in Korean, in English, something is pretty. Then something should be a subject. So you have to use subject marker. 도쿄가 아주 예뻤지만 Tokyo was very pretty, but 교토 아름답다, beautiful. So something is beautiful. So something should go with subject marker too. So rather than answer, 교토. However, 예뻤다, 예쁘다, 아름답다, positive sense. Another positive sense. So 교토도 아주 아름다. Okay? 교토 was very pretty, but Tokyo also was very beautiful. 괜찮습니까? 그래서 도쿄가 아주 예뻤지만 교토도 아주 and then 자 아름답다 beautiful 아름답다's 승리다범 아름답 and 승리다범 아름답 and with 컨전은 뜻 add just 승리다. 그런데 뭐예요? past tense네. past tense. 그래서 아름다웠습니다. Why? Past tense is 없습니다, right? 없습니다 or 없습니다. You have to add to stem, but 아름답. stem 아름답 ends with 비읍. In this case, 비읍 change to 우 and not 와. That's why you have to add 없습니다. So 아름다웠습니다. what shortened to what. So 아름다웠습니다. 아름다웠습니다. 교토는 절과 정원으로 이거 잘했다. So something is famous for uh, 합시다. be is famous for in Korean. S는 or you can copy marker or you can use subject marker. S는 S가 be 플러스 으로 유명하다예요. 유명하다. 그래서 교토는 절과 정원으로 유명해요. 근데 again speech style you have to maintain the same speech style. So 유명합니다. 교토 is famous for temples and gardens. 그래서 우리는 절과 정원에서 구경을 했습니다. Again, 절과 정원에서 구경을 했습니다. Okay, this means we had a sightseeing. We had a sightseeing in the temples and gardens. In the temples or gardens. Or you can say that 절과 정원을 구경했습니다. This we had a we enjoyed watching. We enjoyed watching. 이게 뭐야? 절 and 정원. But I think that the students wanted to say this one. 절과 정원에서 구경했습니다. And then 구경을 했습니다. We prefer to use shortened form. So 구경했습니다. 구경했습니다. So we had a sightseeing in temples and gardens. 특히, particularly 니조성에 가고 아름다웠습니다. 자, 이거는 it seems that especially I went to 니조성 and the 니조성 was very beautiful, right? 그래서 in this case, in this line, the students wanted to say 니조성 was very beautiful. And then as a background information, the students added she went to 니조성. 그래서 I will say 니조성에 갔는데 especially I went my handwriting, sorry. Especially I went to 니조성 and then 니조성 was very beautiful. 그렇죠? In this phrase, in this clause, the subject is I. I went to 니조성 and in this clause, the subject is 니조성. So I went 니조성에 갔는데 아름다웠습니다. To make it specifically 특히 니조성에 갔는데 니조성이 you can add 니조성 to make the subject for 아름다웠습니다 is 니조성. So 니조성이 아름다웠습니다. 오케이, 여기까지 괜찮습니까? 자, next, last part 가겠습니다. last part 가자, last part. 자, next, I'm gonna use doodling. So, 그리고 게이샤구에 갔습니다. And we went to 게이샤구. Even though there is no subject based on the writing, she is traveling with her family. So rather than I have to get it. We, we went to 게이샤구. 게이샤 area죠. Probably I'm sorry, I have never been to Japan. 저는 일본에 한 번도 안 가봤어요. So I don't know about the areas well, but anyhow, I think Geisha-gu, Geisha district is a district where there are a lot of geisha. I went to Geisha-gu. 우리는 게이샤가 행사를 봤습니다. It seems that she want to say we watched geisha's events. So 게이샤 행사를 봤습니다. Or 게이샤's events. Or 게이샤가 게이샤가 행사하는 것을 행사하는 것을 봤습니다. We watched geisha events. Or we looked at geisha's events, or we looked at the events that geisha 뭐 hosted, 뭐 held 하면 되겠네. 아주 멋있었습니다. It was great, awesome. 일본에서 교토가 가장 인상적이었습니다. Oh, she wrote it clearly, right? In Japan, Kyoto was the most impressive. 일본에 가고 싶어요. I want to go to Japan. 자, she already went to Japan, and then Kyoto and overall her travel in Japan was in general was great. So she's talking that she wants to go to Japan again. So I think 일본에 또 again 가고 싶어요. This sounds much better. 괜찮습니까? 자, just in case for you, I prepared a one possible. 자, I'm going to read everything. 자, once possible corrections, corrected writing. So, I will read from the beginning. 저는 가족하고 3년 전에 일본에 갔습니다. I went to Japan 3 years ago with my family. 우리는 일본에 일주일 동안 있었습니다. We were in Japan for 1 week. 도쿄하고 교토에서 구경을 했습니다. We had sightseeing in Tokyo and Kyoto. This is one possible correction이에요. There can be other ways to correct the writing. 우리는 도쿄에 갔습니다. We went to Tokyo. 시부야가 인상적이었지만 시부야 was impressive, but 사람이 많이 있었습니다. There were a lot of people. 사람이 많았습니다. That's also okay, good. 사람이 많았습니다. Also good. 그리고 어시장에 가서 장어덮밥을 먹었습니다. And we went to 어시장 and ate 장어덮밥. fish market. 도쿄가 아주 예뻤지만 교토도 아주 아름다웠습니다. Tokyo was really pretty, but Kyoto also was really beautiful. 교토는 절과 정원으로 유명합니다. Kyoto is famous for 어머나 for temples and gardens. 그래서 우리는 절과 정원에서 구경을 했습니다. So we had sightseeing in those temples and the gardens. 특히 니조성에 갔는데 니조성이 아름다웠습니다. Especially, I have to add part. 뭐야 이거? 저기 뭐지? 어, 특히 이거 콩나. We went to 니조성. 니조성 was really beautiful. 그리고 게이샤구에도 갔습니다. She went to many places. So I went to Geisha also. So in English, I also went to Geisha, but in Korean, I went to Geisha also. 우리는 게이샤 행사를 봤습니다. We went to Geisha's event. 아주 멋있었습니다. 행사가 I was not sure whether it was only one event or many events, but it was awesome or they were awesome. 일본에서 교토가 가장 인상적이었습니다. In Japan, in my travel to Japan, 교토 was the most impressive. 일본에 또 가고 싶습니다. I didn't change this one, right? She said 싶어요. So that's why I think that we have to change 싶어요 to 싶습니다 to maintain the former speech style. I want to go to Japan again. 괜찮습니다. Thank you so much. 여기까지. 오늘은 여기까지. 감사합니다. 아이고 힘들다.